Alrighty, welcome back to another video. Today, it's very simple. I'm just going to be going over me backtesting my model, right? Everything that I want to see and need to see in order to take a trade, and really wanted to make this video especially for the beginners. I think this is super helpful, kind of just getting a look of how I go about backtesting and what I end up doing. And not going to be a crazy long video, just kind of going to go through, not really going to edit it too much, going to be pretty raw, just what I'm looking for going into the day and everything that I need to see in order to take a trade. So what am I going to end up doing here is I'm just going to scrunch it up. I'm going to go into replay mode and I am just going to pick a random date and time. Can I like go over some way? How long ago is this? Oh, February? Okay. All right. So we just pick a random date, right? Wow, I still got shit marked out from February, my boy. Oh, that's probably like all-time highs or some shit. No, it's not. All right, anyway. Okay, so let's look at the higher time frame here. So on the 4 hour, obviously we have buy side liquidity generated above us. We have all this generated sell side liquidity below us, sorry. And we have ended up taking buy side, right? And we've ended up running this 4 hour. So I'd honestly be pretty bearish towards these lows. I'd be pretty bearish towards this low, towards this low. Let's scale down to the 15 minutes, see what we're looking at here. Yeah, I'd be pretty bearish towards these lows. What time is it at? Oh, it's 9:45 a.m. Okay. See, this is the struggle that we might have to go to like 7:30. But yeah, I'd be pretty bearish bias. Now, obviously, I already know what happens, which kind of sucks. So let's actually, you know what? Let's just move to the next day because I already know what happens, and that's kind of cheating. Where are we at? Okay, perfectly. Right at 7:30. So, kind of in the same situation as we were yesterday. Obviously, I'm pretty bearish, right? We've ended up running that 4 hour. We ended up running that 4 hour for value gap. We have now had that 4 hour change to the downside. So, I'd be extremely bearish bias here. I would want to see the market continue lower. Now, again, these draws on liquidity would be my main draw on liquidity. We end up respecting this 15-minute right here, right? So, and we also end up taking this internal high right here. What time is this at? This is at 7:40. God damn it, man. Fuck. Okay. So I'd honestly want to see us tap this 15-minute like we already did. We end up tapping this 15-minute. Okay, so what I would need to see for me to take a short, and we also have these relative equal lows below us. So yeah, what I would need to see for me to take a short is I would need to see this fair value gap get ran through. I would need to see this 1 minute bullish fair value gap get ran through. Let's see what ends up happening. We end up not running through it. We end up respecting it, having another internal manipulation leg. So again, we're just staying patient. We're still in that 15-minute. Not convinced on a bullish bias yet. Okay, right here. Right here is when I would take my short. We end up getting below this change, right? And then we also end up running this 1 minute. I'd be targeting, honestly, all the way down to this low down here. And I'd probably be break even at these internal lows, right? Now, what do we end up having? We also end up having that 1 minute change. Again, tap into the 15-minute. This is pretty high quality right here. Let's see what ends up happening. We end up getting stopped out. Alrighty. So there's that. We end up having another internal manipulation leg. Oh, wait, shit. I'm an idiot. We would have ended up getting stopped out at break even. So again, here was my break even right here. So ended up taking this right here. I would have been break even, would have got stopped out at break even. So anyway, we end up coming all the way back up, having another internal manipulation leg. So at this point in time, we're kind of just going back and forth. We end up taking this low. Let me look at the higher time frame here. We're still in this 15-minute, so I'm still pretty not convinced on a bullish bias until I see one. We have had this 1 minute change to the upside. Again, not convinced. What ends up happening, we end up just continuing to kind of sit around here. End up having another internal manipulation leg. Yeah, and then would basically be pretty done around here, 8:30. Not really much to go off of. So yeah, that would kind of be, I'd be break even so far. So let's go to the next day. Let's go to the 15 minute. This is going to take way too long. We end up having a new day opening gap that completely just gaps us down and takes both of these lows down here. $5.30. Okay, we're gonna pause it right there. All right. So now let's look at the higher time frame. Okay, so we end up taking this internal low. We do still have this low down here, this low down here. We end up taking these internal lows though. Not really much I'm looking for right now. Again, we could still definitely be bearish. Just because we took those lows does not mean we're bullish. We're actually respecting this 1 hour for value gap right now. Let's take a look at the 15 minute. We've had internal manipulation. On the 15 minute, I'd be pretty bearish bias towards all these lows down here. Yeah, unless we begin to disrespect that 1 hour and disrespect bullish order flow. So what time is it right here? 7:29. Perfect. Okay, so coming into market open, what would I want to see in order to take a short? We already have had, if we take a look at the 15 minute, we've taken that internal high and then we've already had that 15 minute change. So what would I need to see? I would just want to see some sort of internal high get taken for me to take a short. So at market open, what do we end up doing? Okay, we end up taking this internal high. What do we end up doing? Here we go. Okay, we end up pumping all the way back up here, taking this high up here. Again, just staying patient. If we're just gonna be bullish, looks like we are. Holy shit. Okay, let's take a look at the higher time frame. Yeah. I think my main draw would now be this high up here. We end up running that 1 hour. I would be looking for this high up here, which again we're gonna take right now. Oh wow, we end up not taking it. Okay. Yeah. We end up taking that high and kind of just sitting around here doing nothing, really. Time is it? Yeah, 8:48. I'd probably be off by now. All right, on to the next day. So far, not really seeing much I like. Wow. Really good. Oh, shit. Okay. So in the overnight session, what do we end up doing? We end up selling off, taking that low one more time. Again, we do still have draws on liquidity below us that I would want to see get taken, right? I do not want to, I would want to see the market continue lower. Again, we have this low all the way down here. I would want to see the market continue lower. We have this 4 hour for value gap that we end up opening up right here. We also end up running all these 4 hour inefficiencies getting below this down close candle. So just because we took this low, I would still be pretty bearish biased towards all these lows. We just have yet to show any bullish order flow. So I would continue to be pretty bullish bias here. We're respecting this 1 hour for value gap. Kind of want to see how we react to that. Yeah, so for me to take a short, again, I would have to see manipulation. I would have to see some sort of manipulation. I would probably have to see this internal high get taken up here, some sort of high get taken. So let's see what ends up happening. We're at 7:14. We have a little bit till market open. Where are we at? 7:27. Okay, we're about to have market open right here. What ends up happening? Okay, so we end up tapping that 4 hour, taking this internal high. Okay, we're just gonna mark it like that. So for me to be bearish, I would have to see some sort of fair value gap get ran through. What ends up happening? Okay. This first presented gets opened up. I would have to see this get ran through for me to be bearish. Oh, right here. Okay. Right here. Here's where I would take my short. I'd be targeting probably just these relative equal lows right here. I'd most likely just be targeting a 1-to-1. So where's this low at? Okay, 82. We'd most likely just be targeting. I'd probably have my stop above this down close candle. Yeah, really like this. Inverse, taking the internal high, tapping into the 4 hour, have really good displacement lower. And yeah, so just be targeting a 1-to-1 on this, and let's see what happens. Okay, end up getting stopped out there pretty immediately there. Let's see what ends up happening. If we just want to continue to go higher, what we end up want to doing. Okay. So this could have just been a stop raid, but we'll see what ends up happening if we respect that. We ended up running that first 1 minute bearish for value gap. If we end up running the second bearish for value gap right here, I will end up just taking another stab at this. We end up doing that. I'll take one more stab, and then if I lose this trade, I would just be off for the day. And we end up, holy shit, really bad price action, but we end up hitting our take profit there. And then honestly, you could just leave a runner towards all the way down here if you wanted to. You could be like, if you're in, you know, whatever, 5 minis, you could take 4 contracts off here, stop the break even, and then just let your runners ride. And I don't know if it ends up playing out. We'll end up seeing what happens, but okay, we end up getting stopped at break even there. But my first DP would end up getting hit, so let's head on to the next day. $6.30, $6.45, 7, 7:15. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the higher time frame. So on the 4 hour, we're beginning to look a little choppy. Again, we've taken this internal low. We do still have draws lower that I would want to see us take, right? Overall, in the higher time frame, I think we are bearish. We have all this generated sell side that we still want to be taken right now. But we do have buy side above us, right? But we're inside of this 4 hour right now. So let's see what ends up happening if we end up wanting to respect this. Now, we did end up getting above these down close candles, so we definitely could run this 4 hour and go take this high. But again, I'm not looking here to kind of guess what the market wants to do. I just want to react and be pretty patient. So we're inside of this 4 hour. We end up taking this internal high on the 15 minute. We're inside of this 15-minute bearish for value or bullish for value gap. I'd be pretty patient coming into the day. I don't really know what the market wants to do, which again is completely fine. We could go either way here. I could really see the market go either way. Again, we have the sell side below us, but again, we also do have this high above us, and we've gone above those 4 hour down close candles. So we have this generated buy side liquidity above us. So again, let's just see what happens here. So taking sell side. What time is it? 7:29. 7:30. What ends up happening? Okay, we end up coming all the way up here, taking all this generated buy side, and also in this 4 hour for value gap. Let's keep that in mind. We end up opening up this 1 minute. Oh, this 1 minute bullish for value gap. I have not yet to tap it, so just sitting here waiting, being patient. We end up taking that high, getting really good displacement lower. Again, I'd still be pretty patient here. We end up tapping this 1 minute bearish for value gap. Not really getting below those down close candles, but I wouldn't take a short just yet. I'd still be patient. Okay, what I would end up doing here is I would be taking a short right here. I'd have my stop at this high, and I'd be break even here. I'd be break even at this internal low, and I'd probably be targeting this low all the way down here. Let's see what ends up happening. All right, break even right there, and then I would just let my runner go. End up getting stopped at break even. Okay. So I want to point out something with this trade. Again, like, I was confident that we're going to this low, and that's why I'm going break even here, right? But we could go way lower. So when I'm taking trades like this, if I'm confident in a draw and I can't get the good RR that I want, I will end up just going break even at that low and just let my runners go and see where the market wants to take us, right? See if it's just a basically kind of, I call it like a lottery ticket. So with that trade, that was kind of that situation where it's like, okay, I can't get good RR. I'll just go break even at this internal low, and then I'll go and target, this low down here. So that's kind of how I think about that. So we're still in this 1 minute. We still could definitely have, an opportunity here. End up coming up, having internal manipulation, and kind of just chopping around for the rest of the day, not really doing anything, wouldn't really take anything. Whoa. Okay, so that would kind of be my day right there. I'd kind of be done. It's a Wednesday. So let's kind of make our way to the next coming days. Oh, shit. Okay. So we end up taking that high. Okay. So we end up taking that high. All right, do we have a daily above us? No, we don't. Okay. So we are in this 4-hour bearish for value gap. Again, we end up taking all these relative equal highs up here. Again, the draws are still lower. I'm still bearish bias. This could just be a rebalance to OTE. Again, we're inside of this 4-hour bearish for value gap. We're also inside of a 4-hour bullish for value gap. So I kind of just want to see where the market wants to take us. We do have this generated buy side liquidity. We could have that for another internal manipulation leg. We've taken sell side below us. So I'd be pretty patient coming into today and really what the market wants to do. So let's see. Okay, market opens, right? We end up taking that internal high. End up continuing to move higher. Just continuing to move higher. Really nothing for me right now. Nothing. Okay, we end up selling all the way back off. Taking that internal low. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so we end up selling all the way back off, taking that internal low. Oh, we ended up taking this high. I didn't even realize that. Okay, we ended up taking this high. It's hard to say now, right? Because you're like, oh, well, now he sees the market goes lower. But we end up taking this internal high. I might have taken this, but we'll just move on to the next day. Gonna just finish off with one more trade, one more win, and then we're gonna end the video. Okay. So now from yesterday, again, we end up taking these relative equal highs, respecting this 4-hour and getting below this 4-hour down close candle, as well as running these 4-hour inefficiencies. I'd be bearish bias. I'd be extremely bearish bias. I would not be bullish bias whatsoever. I'd be bearish bias towards this low down here. I would just want to see the market go lower. Oh, shit. We're inside this 15-minute for value gap. I would need to see some sort of internal manipulation, which I assume we have 6:30 news because we have data highs up here. So again, I would just be patient coming into market open. Gosh, I moved this too quick. This looks decent. Doesn't look great. Again, we do still have data highs above us, so that's the only like kind of sketchy thing that we have. If I were to take this, I'd target sell side. I'd be break even here. Let's kind of see how this plays out. I want to see how this plays out. Are we still respecting this 15-minute? We are. Okay. yeah, I'd be targeting this low, and I'd just be targeting a 1-to-1. Okay, break even there, and then I get stopped out at break. So, again, just another manipulation leg, generating more sell side liquidity. And then I assume we end up pumping all the way up to data highs. Keep data highs intact. We end up putting in relative equal highs here. Let's see what ends up happening. Okay, I'd actually take a long here. I'd take a long towards data highs. I know I came in saying, oh, I'm bullish bias or I'm bearish bias, but we end up taking this internal low, also closing above this 1 minute bullish for value gap, or bearish for value gap, sorry, and then closing below this, above this 1 minute change. I'd end up taking a long here. I'd have my stop a little below this inverse, and then I'd be break even at this data high, and then just targeting a 1-to-1 above that. Let's see what ends up happening. Holy price action. Be sitting through this for a little while here. Does data highs get taken? Okay, data highs get taken. I'd just be break even, and then stop that break even there. Yeah. Okay. Gotta finish on a win. Gotta finish on a win. End up gapping down. Okay. End up gapping down, taking both these lows down here. Taking all this generated sell side liquidity that I wanted to see get taken. Now, since this low is taken, I have to be a little bit more reactive because we end up kind of having, we take this low and we have an immediate reaction. We're back in the new day opening gap. So, or is this a new week opening gap? This is a new week opening gap. Okay, so we're back in the new week opening gap. I would want to just see what the market wants to do. We have this high up here, right? Again, we're back in this new week opening gap. We have generated sell side liquidity down here, right? I would just want to see what the market wants to do. So yeah, we'll end up seeing what happens. Where does market? Okay, 7:30. Okay, we end up taking that high. So let's see what happens. All I would need to see right now is this for value gap get ran. If this for value gap gets ran, I will end up taking a short towards all the generated sell side. Right, let's see what happens. Okay, right here. Right here is when I would take my short. Oh. I'd have stop at the high, targeting all the way down here. Actually, I'd just be targeting a 1-to-1 because that'd be negative RR. Okay, let's see what ends up happening. Low ends up getting taken. Boom, right there. All right, there we go. Ended on a win, but that's kind of how I go around backtesting. I know I wasn't really talking like a lot towards like you guys and giving you a lot of informative information. But that's kind of just how I go around backtesting. I kind of just like, I literally, without the camera, I'm literally talking to myself. Like, I will talk to myself, kind of listen to how I think about things, and that really helps me process, like, just backtesting in general. I don't really backtest too much anymore. I honestly think after, like, first 6 months of trading, once you learn your model, it's kind of pointless. I'm going to be completely honest. But if you guys are a new trader, I highly, highly suggest backtesting like this. Just pick a random point in time and go days on days on days on days, hours on hours. Just keep doing that until you have mastered your model, until you know what you need to see in order to take a trade, and obviously track your statistics. So that's going to end it off here, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys put this into practice, actually backtest like this. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I will catch you in the next one.